Let's move to 9/11. Your theory of 9/11 is what?
My theory of 9/11 is that we certainly, at best, we knew it was going to happen. They allowed it to happen to further their agenda in the Middle East and go to these wars.
So just to clarify, President George Bush knew that 9/11 was going to happen, that 3,000 people were going to get murdered.
They had all the information. If you looked at the NSA documents, if you look, well, put it to you this way. The August 6th memo was pretty clear.
Yeah, but do you genuinely believe, Jesse Ventura, that President George W. Bush knew 9/11 was going to happen?
No.
Why do you say it then?
No.
Well, why do you say it?
But I believe Dick Cheney knew it.
Really?
Yep.
You believe he knew it was going to happen?
I believe they had a good... Well, why did John Ashcroft quit flying commercial planes that summer and switch only to private planes? Why did that happen?
You don't honestly believe these people knew. I don't believe you believe that. You don't honestly think Dick Cheney knew it was going to happen. You can't do.
Do you really believe,
rational.
Piers? It's not irrational.
I said it's not rational.
Excuse me. Do you really believe that evil people can't be in charge of governments? If you do, go talk to the Germans. They know a little about that evil people can get in charge. The governments are run by people. People can be bad.
So Dick Cheney is involved, Ashcroft's involved, all these people got together and planned 9. Come on, it's madness.
Oh, that's madness. But you'll fully accept that 19 Islamic radicals armed with box cutters taking orders from a guy in a cave in Afghanistan could defeat our multi-billion-dollar air defense system, which the Russians couldn't do.
Jesse, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Really?
Unfortunately, they exposed a massive flaw in Homeland Security.
And what was it?
The flaw was that these guys had been training and often aiming to go one way, aiming to land planes in a certain manner. In fact, not even land them. Wanted to take off but not land. All these were clues that this was a weird set of circumstances. I'm afraid that's exactly what happened. And the trouble with being a conspiracy theorist, I've got great respect for you, and your book's very readable. The problem is, once you start buying into these theories, you never stop. And with the internet these days, there's a theory about everything.
Yeah.
Do you believe Princess Diana was murdered?
No, I don't look into that.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I haven't studied it.
Isn't the tendency of a conspiracy theorist it breeds other conspiracies?
No. I only go into things I study. I've studied 9/11 for 3.5 years now. And it's my expert opinion. As a demolition expert, I was trained by the best the U.S. government has. I served 3 years on Underwater Demolition Team 12. 2 years I was attached to SEAL Team 1. And when I look at the buildings and how they fall and the way they fell, they couldn't have come down without being assisted in some manner. And then I counter...
You don't believe when two large planes hit the World Trade Center, hit both towers, and they explode, that couldn't bring down 2 buildings?
No.
And that the debris couldn't bring down a 3rd building?
The Empire State Building was hit by a plane and it didn't collapse.
It was a tiny plane that hit the Empire State Building.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Tiny. Well, the World Trade Center buildings were tested against Boeing 707s, which are bigger than the planes that hit.
Well,
and the way it was designed, if it was punctured, it was like a screen door. It would cause damage right where the hit was, but this uniform collapse. And then when you look at the powder, if it collapsed, it would collapse in big chunks.
Jesse,
Then I was at the site 2 weeks after it happened with Governor Pataki, right? And they had to cease digging that day. You know why? They were finding pockets of molten liquid metal underneath. Now, if everything took place, Piers, 150 floors up, why was there molten metal underneath?
It
requires 3,000 degrees to melt metal.
Jesse, you're a patriot. You're a good
I don't know if I am.
You consider yourself to be a good American?
I've been a mayor, I've been a governor, and I served 6 years and was honorably discharged from the United States Navy.
Do you accept that some people, many people, will be listening to this and consider it to be quite offensive, what you're saying?
What, to question government? I think it's quite offensive not to question government.
No, not to... It's more than...
I think it's offensive to sit back like a zombie and accept everything you're told.
I get that. But when you're telling the American public, as you are right now, and indeed the wider world, this airs around the world, that Dick Cheney, Vice President of the United States...
Well, I'd like some answers from him.
Yeah, but you didn't just say you want some answers. You said he knew and was responsible for the biggest atrocity in American history on his home ground. You believe that?
No. I'll just say it happened on his watch, so they're responsible for it.
So he didn't know?
I don't know.
Listen, we're going to take a break so that we can all just deep breath, calm down. Before we go, just clarify me one more time, because you said Cheney knew and then he didn't know. Did he know or not?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But I certainly have questions for him that were not answered.
I get it. We'll be back after the break. Thank you, Jesse.